Hey, true believers, England team here, and with me is my friend Dalton.
Hello.
And we've got a few Disney items to talk about. I'm very happy to be back here. I'm very happy to be talking about news again. Had to take a sabbatical because YouTube didn't like me sharing anime. That's apparently against the rules, Dalton.
Well, who knew that YouTube was run by a bunch of weebs? But then again, it's the internet, so
Yeah,
there was significant probability anyway.
it didn't work out for me. I did not know. I guess I should have been a little more careful. I'm not going to blame anybody else, but that's why I haven't done live streams in a while, because I was on suspension from it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're back, I'm very happy to be doing these and being able to talk about the news that's been surrounded, because so much has happened in the last 3 months. Not going to climb over old stories, except before we get to the a new weapon used in the theme park wars. I would like to talk a little bit about the no smoking thing that they started up. They have decided that from now on there will be no more smoking in the parks. There used to be like a smoking area in the back here and in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite places to go, even when my daughters were children, when they were little toddlers, I love to walk from Mickey's Birthday Land, which is what it was back in the 90s and early 2000s when my daughters were young, all the way over to Space Mountain. My kids loved it because it was like it's a straight path. It's a garden. They would see the squirrels. I would let them go so they could run. You know, they weren't on the leashes, or, you know, they didn't have to hold my hand. So they loved it back there. And then they put a smoking area. And I couldn't, because it's away from everything except for my favorite place to take my kids. It was, you know,
like, dang
so like, yeah, I was like, oh, I hate this good idea. How can you know? I couldn't fault them for it, but this was like my daughter, my youngest, Elizabeth. She is one of those who, hey, Dr. Venkman, how you doing? She is one of those type of children who need time to decompress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she can handle crowds for a little bit, but then she needs to take some time out. We're even talking about going around with her, getting her the pass, and then going around and finding the best places to decompress, because there's nothing better to prove it than a kid who's about to hit the freaking roof and needs to go, you know, get somewhere. She's just that kind of a kid. And then, of course, you have a smoking area back there, and it's like, oh, no, I don't need that. Because we're not smokers, obviously, is what I'm getting to. But here's the thing. Now, as a non-smoker, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's Disney. There shouldn't be smoking areas because kids, blah, 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 blah. But if you're a smoker,
that's gotta be
Disney's Disney's an all-day thing, man. You know, you show a little empathy to the smoker, and it's like, oh,
well,
wow, that has got to be rough. The entrance.
On the one hand, I mean,
now
it is inconvenient for the smokers, but on the other hand, given Disney's wholesome family branding, I am surprised it took them this long. Because you would think that if anywhere would be the first place to adopt the no smoking policies, once those came around, it would be Disney, because that's very family friendly and family oriented.
Yeah. Well, here's something I think that kind of shows the dark side of Disney. Not like the evil side of Disney, but like a little bit of darkness to them. It shows you where their priorities are. They banned gum a long time ago, because, of course, it causes a mess and it gets all over everything. They've got to scrape it up. That's an inconvenience to them. This is more of an inconvenience to the guests. One, you know, the people who don't smoke and everything. And it took them forever. I mean, you know, think about, what was it, 1971? So we're talking about 47 years. Yeah, that's a little bit there, Disney. That's a slow play.
Well, but
on
also,
the smoking thing.
I can see the other side of the argument, because of course they want to be hospitable to all the guests, and a significant proportion of your guests are going to be smokers, because that's just how that works. But
yep, it's like leaving a country to smoke. So how long till Disney abandons glorifying princesses and give the princesses a chance to shine? That actually we talked about a while back. My brother has he has a son, and when he was a kid, they were walking through the shop, and there's Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique where the girls could get all done up. And he says, well, can they get, you know, my nephew wanted to get done as one of the princes, like, you know, the Prince Charming from Cinderella, that kind of thing. And the royal, that coat and everything. I think they can do it now, but for the longest time, they just wouldn't do it. And they were like, well, we can make him up like a pirate. And he looked at him, my nephew said, but I want to get the girl. I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to get the girl. I'm like, that's my boy. Nope, it's his boy, but I'm still with you, sir.
But still, like that makes logical sense. And also, like, the princes are very prim and proper for the most part, and that's kind of the point of the princess dress up. So why not let the
Prince Philip would be cool with the armor, the black armor, and Prince Eric, of course, you got the white shirt and the black pants with the boots and everything. That'd be kind of cool. You got that going on as well. Dr. Venkman saying he bets they'll change their mind after they start losing money from the smokers. I don't know if they will, but one thing I've noticed, and this has been a problem for the annual pass holders, of course, is the fact that they've decided to go on. I did a video about this. Their new pricing, where the busy times are more expensive than your slow times. So this is causing a lot of people to go, well, heck, I guess we'll take the kids out of school and we'll go then. And now there's really no down period. Like, as a native, we really look forward to the first 3 weeks of January or the first 2 weeks of December. Nobody's there. Yeah, nobody's there, and it's not hot as heck, you know. It really is the best time. And now, you guys are down here again. Stop it. Go home. Come back at Christmas.
It's kind of like blockbuster season in Hollywood. Before, it was mostly just limited to right around Christmas and right during summer. But now, even in like January and February, you'll get your occasional Deadpool or Glass or
Black Panther doing $1 billion, or now Captain Marvel doing $1 billion. And by the way, yes, Shazam was very good to watch.
Such a good movie.
It really was. It was so much fun. I actually, since I did that review and at Disney, I figured I was going to put it on this channel, and I had a Yasaki review that was exactly 3 minutes. I was like, I can't put this anywhere. I'll put it at the front of the review.
I was not expecting them to go full 7 Deadly Sins, but they went there, and I'm just like, clap, 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 because
little Ghostbusterish. But you know what? I'm going to talk about this on the I Love Comics channel tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on and back to the.
This is I want to stick to the Disney stuff, because trust me, my plan is to talk about Shazam tonight, the box office, the whole 9 yards, how Captain Marvel's being spun right now. It's amazing to me that they still do this.
Lots to get through, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to get through.
Yeah. We're gonna stick with. Okay, I'm trying to share my screen here. Sometimes it is a little difficult because I do want to get to the news stuff, and man, why are you gonna be treating me like this? What's going on? For some reason, it's not letting me do that.
Probably because you have a lot of tabs open for all the stories and stuff.
Maybe. Is that how it's gonna have to be?
Your computer is a potato, so.
Yeah, it kind of did that. It Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to get into the into it because it's not letting me share. So sorry about that, guys. First story up, we're going to talk about the new weapons. This is an article I read. It's called "The New Weapon in the Theme Park Wars is Immersion," and this is from the Diz Unplugged. I'm a fan of the Diz Unplugged. My daughters like to watch it, and it's a lot of fun. They go around basically same thing I do, but it's one of those things. Whenever you start a channel, you're smart to watch the other people and how they do things. And this is one of the channels that me and the kids started watching. And of course, I am the only man in my family. So they get to, hey, who do you think is the cutest? I don't want to be a part of it. But Dad, oh, yeah. So anyway, this guy right here is talking about the new weapons in the theme park wars is immersion. And the fact that it's not just enough to put out a product that's based on a specific IP, which they still do here and there. You'll get a new ride, like Fast and the Furious came out last year. It sucks. This is not just my opinion either. The general consensus is it is not good, and it really isn't. It is just dull as heck. But the main thing came, like the big cannonball fired into the side of the Disney fort was Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And Hogsmeade when it came to Islands of Adventure. That was when it made people stand up and say, hey, wait a second, holy crap. Universal Studios
with us now. Draft.
Yeah. It wasn't just, okay, we've got a Harry Potter attraction here or there. When you walk in, you can't see anything but Harry Potter.
It's
you have
from everything I've seen.
Yes, you have
like in the movies.
You have a chance to buy the robes, and you can buy the wand, and they've got areas where you could wave. If you wave the wand a certain way, you can cast a spell that makes something happen in a window or on a wall or something like that. And it's done. It really is immersive. This is how immersive this Hogsmeade is. And I'm not even at Diagon Alley yet. I'm still at Hogsmeade. But in Hogsmeade, if you go into the bathroom, Moaning Myrtle talks to you while you pee.
I heard about that.
I kid you not.
I so heard about that. That is amazing.
It is so cool and weird at the same time. I've never seen so many boys. Wait, what? What's that?
What? Why?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that woman was 35 when she played that high school kid?
I've heard that since, but if you had told me that when I was a kid, I would have called you insane.
Yeah, I know. I saw her. She was in a movie last year called Stan and Ollie, based on Laurel and Hardy. And I was like, wait a second, where I saw her somewhere before. Where did I see her? Oh yeah, she was like a teenager 10 years ago. What happened to her? No, she was 35. Now she's almost 50. That's what happened. But yeah, it was really cool. And this is an awesome part. I love the bathroom in there. Sometimes I'll just step in and I'll look like that weirdo who walks in to look at guys pee, but I'm actually just listening to the dialogue of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll try to figure out a way to get the camera or something to record that in without coming off really creepy.
That is one thing that I think Universal has over Disney sometimes, which is they give the people who are like behind the attractions more creative control, and that leads to more I guess the appropriate word is immersion. So
but that was one of the reasons why Disney lost Harry Potter. Disney was going to get Harry Potter first. And J.K. Rowling wanted creative control. And Disney wasn't willing to give it to her. And now I'm of course, there's so much to the story. This is the napkin version. This is the dinner placemat at Denny's version of this story. But yeah, but Universal was willing to give her whatever she wanted, and that's why she got it. And of course, Hogsmeade came. And I'll tell you something, man. If you ever go to Islands of Adventure, never turn left towards Marvel Island, even though you can see everything and it looks cool. You always want to turn right if you're going to go all the way around, because you want to approach the castle from the right. You want to that will lead it to where when you walk through Hogsmeade and you round the corner, your first glimpse of Hogwarts, excuse me, is from the front, and that castle will blow your mind. I don't care if you've seen pictures of it. It just it looks amazing.
I'm sure it is amazing. And don't they have like a mock-up of all the like important sets inside the thing too? Which just
yeah,
that alone blows my mind. Like if there was, I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter, but if there was one thing I always wanted to do, it was go through the sets and the settings, because my word, were those always so intricate and detailed. And and this is funny for me, especially because I'm not one for rides really. I like attractions and I like shopping when it comes to theme parks. So this is like ideal for me because it's all attractions and shopping, and they're like only 2 rides. Although I will say, I think there should definitely be more rides. It seems
I love that this started talking about immersion, and we're really just talking about Universal Hogsmeade, why it's so cool. But one of the really good things about the castle is that you can walk through it. If you don't have to go on the ride. I can't ride the ride. I have. It's an awesome ride. It's one of the best rides ever made. But
motion sickness.
I get motion sick, and it took me out. I got off that ride and my head went straight into a garbage can. They're like, "Do you need medical help?" Sir, do you need medical? I'm just trying to get them to leave me alone. And it was just, it was not very, it wasn't very good of me, or for me, I should say. But it was just very fun. But the ride is incredible. And if you do have a tolerance for motion sickness, definitely it's something to go to. But then of course, we get Diagon Alley from Universal. Now, I got to say, Disney did fire a couple of shots. They changed Mickey's Birthday Land into Dumbo's Circus, and it looks amazing, and it's a great place to have kids go play. Not a great place for adults, but it is really good for the kids. And it is, nobody's banned from chat, Dr. Vinkman. I would never ban Eric, but it did do well. But then we get Hogsmeade, Hogsmeade. And wait a second, which one came first? It might have been, I forget. It might have been Avatar. No, it was Hogsmeade.
Yeah,
but it was Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley. I mean, Diagon Alley is incredible. The picture you should be seeing up at about right now is from Diagon Alley. As a matter of fact, it's one of the wand shops.
Yeah, and this is my one big complaint about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal. I've heard that only certain people get to test out the wand testing attraction at Ollivanders.
Oh, it's the they do a show. Well, I can understand, because it is a show. It's not just it's a little different, because what it is they do they pick a kid. My daughter got to do that. The video's on here somewhere.
Yeah,
but
no, I remember seeing it, but
and then they do a little show with it, and
if I were an executive at Universal, my first thought when this made all the money, and it made all the money in its opening, would be, let's expand that so that everybody who buys a wand can have that, because that would be really nice just to have some sort of. Well, I always thought it would be good to have, and of course it would have a line to it, but I always thought the sorting hat would be great. That's another one that I can't believe they don't have, because to be able to walk through somewhere and then have a sorting hat. Of course, they couldn't put it on your head, but just to raise it above and then go, well, okay, I think you'll be in. That kind of thing would be awesome. That way you would know what robes and so forth. Of course, some people would be disappointed, because everybody wants to be a Slytherin or they want to be a Ravenclaw nowadays. That's the most popular. Which is definitely a good sign, I think, for me, because I was always a fan of Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Just because Ravenclaw is the wisdom and knowledge house, and well, have you met me? Um, so there's that. For some reason, people keep wanting to put me in Slytherin, and I'm just like, are you high? But yeah, the only problem is you'd have to include some kind of AI with it, because if you didn't, it couldn't really like gauge personality.
Yeah.
And it kind of has to be able to, otherwise you'll end up with someone who very rightly should be in one house getting randomly tagged into another house, and that's probably the reason they haven't like built the Sorting Hat AI like animatronic yet, because they
No,
can't get the
I went on
personality.
that one little website myself. I did the test
Audible.
once because I think it's cheating if you do it twice. You do it once, that's where it is. I ended up getting Hufflepuff, which who cares about Hufflepuff? But
Yeah,
so
Hufflepuff is the like participation trophy house. I'm sorry, I know it has its own particular thing, but the thing with Hufflepuff is it's supposed to be like compassion is their defining trait, and I'm like, compassion is like the participation trophy personality trait.
thank you,
Like
none taken.
like like no, because courage is definable, ambition is definable, wisdom and knowledge is definable, and then compassion is just kind of nebulous. Like, oh,
Well,
it's
that's the
like
thing. You can have compassion for either side.
yeah.
You can be compassionate towards the Voldemort side, or you could be compassionate. Yeah, compassion, you're right, is a bit open. Diagon Alley is amazing, and I would love to see your take on it. I'll come and check it out, because the whole I was there when it opened, and I remember people getting mad. They would come up to me and they said, well, where's Harry Potter? Where's the Diagon Alley? And I said, it's right over there. And because I was at Simpsons, so it's like literally across from us. And I should talk about Simpsons in just a little bit too. And they would go, well, we were just over there. And I said, you're a muggle. And they said, because we were literally not allowed to tell how to get there, because it's part of the immersion was, of course,
You're supposed to know the code of tapping on the wall, and then it
yeah,
open up.
which the way it's done is there's an optical illusion that makes it look like a solid wall until you're right on it, and then you can go right on in. Well, if people don't see the illusion, it looks like a solid wall and they keep walking by. And so I loved that part about it. It was so incredible to me. But my thinking was, there's a whole shit ton of people going in. Follow them. Why are you? Well, I curse. Sorry about that. But why are you not going in already? But people would still walk by.
Well,
And
because some people just are not that, like, they're not observationally inclined, and
yeah,
for lack of a better term, that is the Muggle trait. Like, in the Harry Potter universe, Muggles don't see anything. It doesn't matter
I
how
can see that.
obvious
Yeah.
it is. Muggles don't see anything.
Danny Street's hide and Danny Street hides in Disney. I like that. But in this, just getting into it was a lot of fun. Of course, you do walk through the wall, and it's Diagon Alley. I mean, you've got the Weasley's joke shop on one side. You got the Leaky Cauldron on the other, which, by the way, I believe it was the Three Broomsticks, not the Leaky Cauldron, that they had. But one of those two restaurants, the movie actually designed the set based on what Universal built, because it had never been built before. And then they've got shows. They've got all of the shops. They've got Ollivanders, of course. And then they've got Nocturne Alley, which is amazing. I mean, and in Nocturne Alley, they have the wanted posters that move.
Yeah.
It is just done up so well. And you'd want to talk about immersion. There is nothing as good as Diagon Alley as far as immersion is concerned. In my opinion, if immersion is the new weapon, Universal is winning.
Universal just took it and went nuclear with it.
Yeah. Now they also did Springfield, which looks good. Of course, it's not complete because you can see across the way, you can see London for Harry Potter, and then of course San Francisco, where Fast and the Furious is now, and you know, you can even see New York if you're in the right area. But so it's not 100%, but it's still a lot of fun. You have the restaurant, and you can go into Moe's, you can go to Cletus's chicken and waffles, and you could go to the Flying Dutchman, or no, the Frying Dutchman, excuse me. And then of course you've got the ride and everything. So it is okay. It's just not as good. But I've got to talk about, if you're talking about the war in immersion, it is Avatar, Pandora, which comes out what, like 8 years after anybody gives a crap about Avatar.
See, this is the problem. I have a distinct worry that Cameron is going to take too long doing another Avatar movie, and then by the time he makes another one, it's going to bomb horribly, and then Disney will have spent all that money and done all that technical work for nothing. I really wish they had just bit the proverbial bullet and did a more upscale version of Beastly Kingdom. But
it would have been, I agree with you on that. I don't agree that James Cameron's going to make a bomb. He seems to be bomb proof. He really does. Because every time he makes a movie, it becomes the biggest movie of all time. I do believe he's about to be unseated this year, though. I think Endgame is going to crush Avatar.
I wouldn't be surprised if it crossed the 3 billion mark. Just barely, but I think it has a good chance of crossing the 3
That's enough, though. 2.7 is where Avatar stopped. Now, here's the thing about Pandora. It is gorgeous. I do have a video here on the channel where I walk through it a little bit. And I haven't even touched the surface. There is so much to it. The floating mountains are amazing to look at. And it really is like, okay, so how did they do that? Because it looks like vines and everything, like it's held up by cables, because it looks like vines rather than like big tubes or anything holding it up. They're just done very well. I would have had kind of the waterfall effect to make it look like, you know, nothing's holding it up and it would be just water, but I could understand if that's a little bit expensive. There are, however, waterfalls in it to hold the illusion, so it's done very well. There's a lot of interactive stuff. One thing I didn't know, I was at one part and I'm like, okay, it says, it tells you what to do. And it's like a whole bunch of little animals and such. Of course, they're audio animatronics in the water. And it says, you know, they're happy when they get excited if you have like high hand movements and such like that. So I start waving and they spray a little water. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I wave a little more and they spray higher. I went, wow. So I waved a little more and it actually sprays the crowd right next to me. I didn't even know I was doing that, but every time I would wave, I would hear this, woo, woo. And I looked over and I realized, oh shoot, I'm wetting them. So I did it more.
Of course.
Yeah. The rides there are incredible. The Flight of Passage is the best ride in Central Florida right now. And it's a screen based. It really shouldn't be to me, but it is just amazing. But
I kind of feel bad that we went like the year before all this new stuff got added. So if we ever go again, there will be still plenty to there'll still be plenty to go through, I think. But
Dr. Venkman's thoughts on Army of the Dead. I will yeah, I agree with Fragminion. It doesn't need one. Plus I hear it's about the Day of the Dead, so we'll see about that. But yeah, hey, if you ever come down, then you know, at least the Universal will be for free. We'll save some money on that. So not only this, of course, coming up at the end of the year here is going to be Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Which now here's the thing. Even though Star Wars is getting a bit of a backlash over the last couple of years, I have heard no one speak about this the way they spoke about Avatar. Because with Avatar, it's like, who cares? Why are you even doing this anymore? Who cares? But with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, everybody is still really excited because of the immersion.
Yeah, it's regardless of where the plots go, the universe itself holds up. The actual universe of Star Wars is somewhere that everyone wants to go. Everyone has at some point after watching those movies thought to themselves, what would it be like if I went to that galaxy long ago, you know, that time long ago in that galaxy far, far away. And so regardless of how badly Disney mismanages the IP in terms of movies and the shows and whatnot, as long as they nail the actual going there, you'll make money hand over fist whether you're trying year in and year out. I guarantee it.
Yeah. There's going to be a bar there, but you can't take your drinks out of it. They're going to have the ride on the Millennium Falcon. They're going to make it so the hotel even is matched to what you do in the park. So you're going to have like your magic band or something along those lines are going to be able to be read by employees at the park, and computers there are going to be able to read it. So they're going to be able to react to you based on how good or bad of a day you had. And if you decide to have actions that turn you to the dark side, they're going to treat you as such. So this is looking to, as much as Universal is winning right now, this could be the nail in the coffin as far as immersion is concerned. Not to mention the fact that it's Star Wars versus Harry Potter. And that in itself is a debate.
I don't know with my generation in particular, like, and like the 10 or 20 years around me, that's a pretty big toss up because everyone in like 5 years of my generation grew up with Harry Potter. It's not the best. It's certainly not the best franchise ever by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the one that everyone in my generation grew up with. So
even now, both Star Wars and Harry Potter are kind of hitting a creative wall.
See, I like the newer ones actually better than the older ones.
Really? You like Crimes of Grimwald better than the original Harry Potter? Wow.
See, the Harry Potter franchise has always had this problem where they tweak the tone in between movies, and it never made sense to me because they nailed it so well with the first movie. Every time they tweaked it to be darker and darker, it came across in the same way that the early DCEU movies came across of, ooh, look at us trying to be edgy, and it's just like, but I fell in love with the first movie, and you're not giving me the first movie, and it's like, why? Whereas with Fantastic Beasts and then Crimes of Grindelwald, they appear to be staying at least somewhat in that sort of first and second movie tone wise, and it's a much more consistent and balanced tone to where it's still it can be dark from time to time, but that doesn't mean it needs to be aesthetically dark. It can just be it can just be like content-wise dark, and that always made more sense to me than
here's what this
like blacken all of the lighting out.
Here's what this says. What may be the most innovative new weapon in Disney's arsenal is the upcoming Star Wars Hotel, set to be seamlessly connected to Galaxy's Edge from the moment they set foot in the resort. Guests will be able to take part in a running storyline and are encouraged to dress the part, which is kind of odd because you're not allowed to cosplay at Disney. It is this added storytelling element that I foresee as being the most important development. I agree with him. It's going to be huge. And I really want to get rich enough to get a room for like a week just so I could play around in the neighborhood here. Because I think it's going to be amazing.
I wonder if they'll like sell like Jedi robes in Disney for the guests and things, because that would be, especially given that that's something that they're doing over in Diagon Alley for Universal. You can buy your, Hogwarts robes and whatnot. It would make
Yeah.
sense to have Disney be like, oh, we want you to dress the part, so here's where you go to buy your, Jedi robes and whatnot.
Yep. Moving on though, to the next story. This one's going to be very quick, and that is the Very Merry Christmas Party. Me and Gail finally decided that this is the year we're going to the Halloween party, but the Very Merry Christmas Party has just announced their dates starting in November, on November 8th, and then ending in December 22nd, which you don't want to go to Disney later than the 22nd. You don't want to go to Disney later than the 18th, tell you the truth. I highly, first of all, they now changed the pricing. So it's like $159 for one day at Disney on Christmas. If they should do it. They're doing it backwards. I've been, okay. You don't want to spend $159 to spend a day, a Christmas day at Disney. It is unenjoyably busy. And I guess they think that, okay, if they charge higher prices, not as many people are going to go. And I've seen that it's working. That spread out a bit. Now you got, there used to be slow periods that we would enjoy, as like I said before. You don't want to be here on Christmas Day. It's not going to be whatever you have in your head. That is not going to be what is. Look at this picture right here that I've got on screen. You see it? Okay, now you see how all the crowds are just sitting there watching the parade?
No. Well,
now imagine that.
That's not going to happen, is it?
Imagine that, but you're trying to walk through it for 12 hours. Now double it. Christmas is not a good time to go to Disney.
Well, I don't really get why you'd want to go to Disney for Christmas, and unless you are a local, and that would make a certain level of sense.
Well, like I said, people have it in their mind. Oh, it's going to be magical. It's going to be fun. No, you and a million. They over freaking stuff the parks. You and a million people are going to be there. It is not that much. It is not as fun as you think it's going to be. Trust me on this one.
I personally would prefer like Disney during Halloween anyway, because that's just, Halloween is a more public holiday, for lack of a better term. When it comes to Christmas, I want to be, home or with my family, or
you think it's more of a intimate. It's more of an intimate holiday. Yeah. Well, with this one, you got, it looks like 8, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, 21, 22. So obviously there are some days that aren't going to be there. And it's going to be $139 for a ticket. It says 99 to 139. 99 are going to be the little kids, but if you're an adult, it's going to be $140 for a ticket. Wow. They have upped the price. Yeah, I would go like
there goes pretty much my entire day's budget, probably.
Yeah, that's
on the ticket.
They have done that. I will have to drive a lot of grub to the hubs in order to be able to afford that ticket. But there you go. That's that. I wouldn't mind going, but if I had a choice, I think I would go to the Halloween party first. But that's just me. Yeah.
I often wonder why Disney doesn't do more with Halloween Town in relation to like tricking things up for Halloween, because I know they do. I know they like trick out the Haunted Mansion with Nightmare Before Christmas. I can't remember if that's during Christmas or during Halloween, but it surprises me that they've never made a Halloween Town like theme to anything, because that's another series of movies that my generation kind of grew up on, is the Disney Channel original.
I can see that.
Town. Yeah.
So this is one I haven't read yet. This is new details revealed about upcoming nighttime shows. Epcot, their show is ending this year, as well as others. So I'm really interested in finding out what these are about. It says there's a lot on the horizons when it comes to nighttime shows. This is okay. It's from an article from Blue Loop. I should have gone there instead. We now know a lot more about what could be expected, what we could be expected to see. The interviews in this article provide some notable scoops about upcoming shows at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot. I'm very interested in what they're going to bring to Epcot because that's an amazing show. Hollywood Studios beginning on May 1st. Oh, okay, new, very new. This is coming up. Oh, that's my anniversary. Huh. The new laser light and projection show, Wonderful World of Animation, will debut in celebration of the park's 30th anniversary. While knowledge on the existence of the show is nothing new, what we have learned is that the show will have a 12-minute runtime and feature nods to every single animated Disney and Pixar movie spanning from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wow, and 12 minutes? That's going to be like one of those YouTube things that you see that shows like 1 30-second clip.
Yeah, it's like one screenshot of every movie.
Yeah, it's wow. Someday, when you wish it, it'll be just like that kind of thing. According to Ray Coble of Disney Park Live Entertainment, a new soundtrack is about to be recorded for Wonderful World of Animation, and the team hopes to be able to add new Disney and Pixar films to the show as they release in theaters. Well, that would be kind of cool if they can, you know, add it. But if it's 12 minutes, that just seems like it'll be less time for everything as it keeps going. The best part is that despite initial expectations, Wonderful World of Animation won't be replacing Disney Movie Magic or Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. Rather, it'll just be added to the park's slate of nighttime shows. All right. Now, May 1st is mine and Gail's anniversary, and we're going to go do a review of a restaurant called San Angel Inn at Epcot, but I think afterwards I'll bring her on over here and we'll see the new show. Thank you very much, Hollywood Studios. That just made it that much more interesting.
So convenient when Disney goes ahead and plans your anniversary out for you.
They help our anniversary, right? Gail, of course, had to accept the fact that we're gonna go out to dinner, but I'm gonna do a review for the video channel. So yeah.
How many Hail Marys and fixing of the broken things around the house did that take you?
Yeah. Well, she's understanding about it because she realizes this is the job. But also what really got her is that I made a video talking about the 10 worst dining experiences I've ever had at Disney. And that this year I'm going to do all 10 restaurants to give them a second try. And this was we went on our very first anniversary to this restaurant. She thinks it's nice and romantic. And I had to remind her, you know, this was one of the worst dining experiences we ever had. She goes, oh, but it's romantic. Okay, hopefully, fingers crossed. At Animal Kingdom, beginning on Memorial Day weekend, it's a new version of the Tree of Life Awakening, and that will pay tribute to 25 years of The Lion King. Well, there was only 1 year of The Lion King. Then it's 25 years of young people like yourself trying to tell me it was a good movie and me saying, not really. You'll see visual highlights of Simba's journey, said Sean Slater of Disney Parks Live. All those moments from being born and presented to go off to live with Timon and Pumbaa. Okay, so it's going to be a telling of The Lion King on the Tree of Life. Okay,
which makes sense. Although I will say I'll miss Flick and the bug shenanigans.
Oh no, that's inside the tree.
Oh, so that. Oh, they're doing it outside, you mean?
Yeah, this is going to be an outside kind of a projection show.
I thought they meant they were switching up the animatronics in the actual inside to make it attractive. No,
although I wouldn't be surprised. They've got a great Lion King show out there, and yes, I do have a video of it here on the channel. And of course, they're bringing up the fact that it's kind of a tie-in to the live action. Why are we calling it a live action Lion King? It's not live action. It's just different animation.
Well, but it's meant to evoke being live action.
Right.
It's getting away from the animated aesthetic. So it's as close to live action as we can reasonably afford without actually going about training lions.
Right. And then, of course, we have Epcot. By now, everyone knows the long-running, much-beloved Illuminations is going to be coming to an end in late summer. But we now have more information about the two shows that will be replacing it. The new Epcot Forever Nighttime Spectacular will begin its limited run immediately after Illumination ends. Epcot Forever celebrates 37 years history of Epcot, which I was there on opening. Yep. Let's see. Laser lighting effects, soundtrack of classic Epcot songs. Oh, and we remember all of those, don't we?
Yeah, I'm blanking.
Yeah. Isn't Let It Go? There is one. Imagination.
It's not. There are actually iconic ones that I'm missing out on because I don't go to the parks actually very often. But
just one that I could remember. There might be one that I'm forgetting, but I remember as a kid we liked Imagination. From that ride, you had the Dream Finder, the whole 9 yards. That was good. Let's see. We're going to look back a bit. We're going to be celebrating in the moment, and we're going to advance to the future of Epcot. Okay, and Epcot Forever ends its limited run. A new Illumination show will debut as the park's permanent nighttime show sometime in 2020. Okay, I'm all good with that.
I'm glad that they're paying more attention to Epcot because Epcot needs an upgrade.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the World Showcase, but yeah, I do admit that Future World is a bit tired, but they're planning on doing some other things at Future World. Wow. What a great way to segue into the next story I wanted to talk about.
Fabulous segue.
Yeah. Permanent Future World. And by the way, CGI is live action, says Fragminion. The future is old. You know, that is actually one of the things that that had them change Tomorrowland to what they did in the Magic Kingdom, because Tomorrowland was also always supposed to be, it's the future, but of course you can't keep up with it. So they just decided this is what the future looks like from the perspective of the 1950s.
This is the ideal Jetson style future.
Yeah, basically that. As far as Future World is concerned, see, I remember when you could go into Innovations and such, which are two buildings off to either side, and they would have computer technology that has, you know, that's not made public yet. So you would see all sorts of stuff, and that this is what's going to come out. This is what we're working on now. But once again, as soon as they had an attraction out, that was obsolete.
Yeah.
So they couldn't keep up with it. So, you know, what do you put in there? What do you know, it's the future has beer.
I do wish they would return to like the roots of the idea, which was kind of like a World's Fair that happened all year round.
Yeah. But once again, for this kind of experience, it's hard to do that, because the whole point of the World's Fair was, of course, to show off new technologies, but new technologies become very old very quickly these days. So Permanent Future World Festival Center and Beer Garden. Yes, Fragminion, the future has beer. New Starbucks, water maze, and more coming to Epcot for Project Gamma. Let's see. While a new entrance area experience center and more has already been announced for the massive overhaul of Epcot, Disney has remained quiet about the future of Innovations. This is a place that they finally shut down that I went into, and it just smelled of black mold. Like it for a while, they had everything shut and you could use it as a walkway to get from one area to the other. And it is just uncomfortable to walk around. They really messed it up. What you see above has changed tremendously and now looks something like this. And okay, I can see. So you have the festival center. Here's the park. Here's the Spaceship Earth. So you're going around to food and beverage, trial of Journey Festival of I would need to see the other things to help out, but I guess that right back here is World Showcase. So there will be a beer garden almost right in the center of the whole freaking thing. And then off to the side, there's a trail journey of water. Oh, okay. I know what this is. There's some little ponds back over by Nemo and Friends. So I guess they can make it into a water maze. That would be awesome. I just want to see what that entails.
Yeah, the very idea of a water maze just is interesting to me. Like, are like the walls of the maze going to be made out of water, like the Sith will be to meal 10 Commandments when he parts the Red Sea or something? That would be interesting.
Maybe. I'm trying to get a handle on where everything is. Okay, this is Nemo and Friends right here. So this would be, yeah, I get it. So this is where the art of Disney is right now. This is the walkway. This is where imagination is. Okay. Yeah, and this definitely needs something because it is horrible. It smells so horribly bad. But there you go, an entire beer garden. And across from it is where they have the different sodas or the different Coca-Colas from different nations. Let's see. Innovations West will be bulldozed, as will the Fountain of Nations and the Penn Central. The demolition of Innovations West also means the demise of Club Cool. No! No, this is not allowed. Shall not want. No, Club Cool is awesome. That's where you get the free soda. It is. It's from all over the world. One of them's this thing called Beverly, which is from Italy. I swear to gosh, it tastes like liquefied earwax. It is gross, but it's amazing too at the same time.
You're not doing a great job of selling it.
Oh, that's exactly how I'm not trying to sell it. I'm challenging you. Go to it and try it. It is exactly that. Let's see. Battle for the beers, take charge, and no prisoners. Okay, I get that. Game of Disney Thrones. That's funny. But no, getting rid of Club Cool is against the rules. Replacing Penn Central and the Fountain of Nations will be an Epcot garden area accompanied by a permanent beer garden. I'd rather have the soda garden. Thank you very much. Let's see. Speaking of permanent, new custom-built structure will be home to Epcot Festival Center, a place for various events that are part of the new 4 annual event. Yeah, we got to talk about those 4 festivals too. It's just too much anymore. With the popularity of the festivals, a dedicated bridge over the side of Future World will be extended from near Spaceship Earth to the main entrance of this new festival center. Okay. I gotta say, I'm all for it, except for the whole taking apart of Club Cool. They got to put that back somewhere. They really do. Otherwise, bring it on. I'm all for a renovation of Epcot's Future World. Yeah, it is getting pretty darn stale there. They definitely need it. I think maybe the soda costs too much to import. Maybe. Deport all the non-cool people to save money.
I'm just hoping they get rid of some of the like cliched quasi-educational corporate sponsored things, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is something I wanted to look at. Tell you the truth. It's new vintage Disney World apparel arrives at World of Disney in Disney Springs. The word vintage got me. So I was like, oh, really? Okay, I got to check this out. Maybe it's some of the stuff like I bought when I was a kid. New line of vintage-inspired apparel has arrived at Walt Disney World, Disney Springs. Most of the pieces have an athletic vibe. Oh, that sucks. That would be perfect for a day running around the parks. Okay. And this is just looking at the pictures here. It's inspired, but no, that's not really what we bought. That's not vintage. That's like modern day with stripes.
I want my Disney themed bow ties. As long as there are Disney themed bow ties, we're good.
Disney best day ever sweatshirt. That's something you never need in. Well, I guess you can use occasionally in Orlando. The long sleeve shirt has Walt Disney World Best Day Ever written across the top. If you look closer, you'll notice Orlando, Florida, established by Walt Disney, 1971, and the details around Mickey. Vintage 1971 T-shirt. That looks cheap. For $35, that looks cheap.
That's not good.
You could already see it bowing at the bottom, and it's not even on a person. That just looks very cheap for $35, guys. I am not impressed with that at all. Pass on.
Want.
Athletic hoodie for $45. Yeah, once again, I'm good. Wow, I was excited about this, and now I'm like, they're not impressing me at all.
This is disappointing.
Good Mood Mickey top. Obvious for chicks because it's got, or women, excuse me, because it's got the V-neck. And it's on a mannequin with boobs.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, for $35. Brown Mickey tank top. I never wear tank tops, though.
Yeah,
and once again, you see it bowing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of T-shirts on the best of days, and these are not doing anything to deconvert me from my usual.
Yeah, I thought I'd be seeing... I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, oh, wow, I should go get that. I think that looks good. Nope, sorry. I'm a pass on this one. That's not good stuff at all. What do we have next? Oh, here's something that I am because I might be interested in because I'm a fat guy. Yeah, well, I do like the food festival, although they're pricing me out. They're getting to the point where, you know, you have sample sizes of things and they're $10 each or they're $8 each. But when I see them for $10, I think I could go and sit down at a restaurant and have like a full meal for 10. It was one thing when it was like $3 or $4 for a sample, what they had. Okay, yeah, I'll try that. But it's getting to the point where it's almost the price of a full meal.
Yeah, especially because it is like that it usually is that exotic upscale food, but now it's just like, can I have a meal portion, please?
Yeah, or something. So this is a tasting sampler that is at Animal Kingdom, and everybody here already knows that Animal Kingdom is the place to go for food. There is not a bad restaurant in that park. Everything is good. You could go up to the carts and they just have good food there. Part of it is that it's African inspired, and so there's flavor to it. It says, with this digital value card, you'll be able to enjoy a day of food and beverages as you taste your way around the parks, carts, kiosks, and after 5 p.m. at quick service restaurants with a bonus digital value card. Okay. But is the food different? Because if the food, I could spend $50 anywhere. The sampler costs $50 and includes 2 digital value cards, $150 that could be used at over 40 outdoor food and beverage locations, and $110 that could be used at quick service restaurants. Well, that's less than a meal, to tell you the truth. After 5. Okay, in restaurant, yeah, that's nothing. I could spend $10. All it's saying is if you buy one of these cards, you get an extra $10 to spend.
That is not a lot when you consider how Disney prices things.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing: is there Kusafiri Bakery in Africa, chicken curry, shrimp curry, doesn't. What just happened? It doesn't seem like it is. There's anything special. To tell you the truth.
No.
Tuna tataki bowl, pork bao, fried chicken dumplings, caramel. Yeah, I'm sorry, gang, but this is the kind of stuff you can get anywhere. Anyway, so yeah, it really does. Maybe that some of the stuff is new and different. I don't know. I'm just not getting a kind of smiling crocodile house. Yeah, I'm not getting this is a special thing. It's just spend 50, get 10 is what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, well,
it's a gimmick.
Yeah, I might go out and try it just to make a video, but it doesn't seem like anything special. And then this is the one that you sent to me, which I was wanting to try, and it just seems like it'd be a lot of fun. Disney Villains After Hours coming to the Magic Kingdom this summer. And I've always wanted to try one of these after-hour things. Because they did do an annual pass holder thing where the crowds were so low, it was just so much more fun. It really was worth it. And Disney has just announced it. Say again?
Didn't we at one point discuss that the villains should have their own park? I think we did.
Yes. Yes, at least an area.
Yeah, I still stand by that. The Disney villains should have their own area, kind of like Tomorrowland and Frontierland and stuff. There should be like a realm of the villains or something like.
Yep. See, now Dr. Venkman and Fragminion are on the right track as far as that sampler is concerned. Come to the zoo, know what it tastes like. I want to eat a baby giraffe. Gator meat. I've had gator meat. I'm from Florida.
I've had gator meat once. It didn't feel right because I don't know, something not kosher about eating something that by right should be eating you. It seemed like kind of asking for it.
I'm good. I'm okay with it. I've had it. It tastes fine. Squeeze some lemon over it. That's fine. But Disney has announced a new offering for Disney After Hours this summer. Disney Villains will add a wicked twist to Disney After Hours events from June 6th to August 8th here at, okay, blah, blah, blah. We're huge fans already, so let's get on to the story. This summer, Disney Villains After Hours will take on a wickedly fun villain that you're just repeating yourself. What we get is a brand new Disney villain stage show. Hades and Meg from Hercules will set the castle ablaze in this all-new stage show, Villains Unite the Night, which will also feature appearances by Jafar, the Queen, Dr. Facilier, and Maleficent.
I was about to say, if you're doing a villain show and you don't include Maleficent, I pity your poor, pitiful soul.
Of course. Well, apparently the dragon, the one that caught on fire but was just put back into the parade, is going to be there too. Maleficent, the dragon, in her steampunk style, will be let loose for the first time at night. Breathing fire as she creeps through the park is a one-of-a-kind experience for party guests. I think that would be awesome.
That sounds good to me, and it's good. It's good that they're finally doing something with Hercules, because for whatever reason, Disney does not like. Disney sometimes tries to pretend that movie didn't exist, and it's kind of sad.
I'll be impressed when they do something with Treasure Planet. Let's see. Villainous enhancements. Discover surprising villain-inspired additions at Pirates of the Caribbean and Space Mountain. Sounds interesting. Wickedly good food and beverage. A variety of special food and beverage offerings will also be available for purchase, including desserts, drinks, dishes inspired by the Queen, Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, Hades, Dr. Facilier, and even Emperor Zurg. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye on that guy.
I was going to say, if I don't get an apple turnover or something that's Evil Queen based, I'm going to be extremely disappointed by this.
Event merchandise. Yeah, they always include something like this. Event attendees can also purchase new logo merchandise as well as items from curated collection of the best Disney villains already. And one notorious item to note, ever driven to stand out in their unpredictable and audacious fashion. While the villains will be entertaining guests in the new stage show, they will not be participating in character. Oh, okay, that's actually new. Because usually there's some villain, like on the Halloween thing, you can meet Oogie Boogie, you know?
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised at that. Disney Villains After Hours are $139. Wow, I knew it. I said before, Disney's going to get lean and mean and more expensive to make up for all of this construction they've been doing.
Well, I mean, at least in this case, it seems like they're adding enough new stuff to make it somewhat worth it. So
yeah. Now they do say Disney pass holders and vacation club members can get a $30 discount. So that's the normal price. $109 has been the normal price for After Hours. One of the best things about it is the low lines. You can just go right onto like Space Mountain and Snow White's Minecart, which would usually run you an hour wait. So yeah, there you go. That is everything. That's all wow, we made it through all of those news stories. There were like 8 of them. So that is I'm quite surprised at that because I thought would definitely drop. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I've got right here. Do you have anything else to add?
No, like I said like I thought when I first saw it, that Disney villain takeover thing sounds interesting and just solidifies my opinion that the Disney villain should have their own like section of. I would put it in the Magic Kingdom just because there are so many magic-based villains.
Yeah, I could see that. Where to go though? Where would it be put? Because you would want it somewhere near Fantasyland.
You would, yeah.
Yeah, that would be the interesting part. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining. Even though the conversation wasn't always about what we were talking about, I appreciate you guys listening. And thanks for hanging out. Basically, this was a way to make, you know how I do it, 7 different videos at once. So a lot of fun that way. Interesting things coming, though, I do have to say. And later tonight, we are going to be doing a live stream at I Love Comics. So if you want to join, feel free to do that. We'll talk about Shazam and some other things as well there. Thank you very much, as I said, for listening in, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
Cheers, guys.